Hey, 5 6s. So today we're going to be talking about descriptive writing. So in a previous lesson, we talked about adding detail to our writing, and we did a short activity where you maybe sat in a window and recorded the things that you saw and heard. So I want to take that idea, that concept, and apply it to our writing today. So you would have previously started on your rough copy of your narrative writing, and this may have been using this picture prompt. Or you might have chose to write something completely your own. That is fine either way. So I have chosen to use this picture prompt in writing a short kind of introductory paragraph today that I want us to go through and edit. Now, if we're in the classroom, I would have had you guys editing it. So instead, you are going to listen to me go through and edit my own writing because my animals don't seem to want to help with that. So, looking at this, thinking about the who, the what, the where, the when, all of those things, what can I be adding description wise to paint that picture in your head? So, today, when we're done here, you're going to go through and while you're writing, just think about could I add more description? Am I talking about someone or something that needs a little bit more explaining? And before you're finished today, I would like you to share this with a family member, someone at home, and see if they have any questions. Like maybe they're not picturing the same thing that you have in your mind. So this is where description is really important. So what I've written for us today is this short paragraph here. So there was a suitcase in the yard. When I walked closer, I heard something coming from inside. Opening the suitcase, I saw a staircase leading down into the ground. Listening to the sound, I felt called to enter. Taking a step inside, I wasn't prepared for what I saw when I got to the bottom. So I want you to stop and maybe pause, reread this in your head. What are you struggling to picture? So maybe I have something clear in my head that I'm trying to get across, but maybe I haven't given the description needed for you to picture this. So we're going to go through and edit this now to try to add a little bit more of this description. So there was a suitcase in the yard. Well, suitcase is a thing. So for starters, I could maybe be adding description to that. So is yard. This is a place. Maybe this is something that I want to add more description to. So you don't need to be highlighting this in your own writing, but if you'd like to, it might help you. So there was a ratty old suitcase in our family's backyard. So now I've started to get this idea that there's a character who's part of a family. Maybe you want to introduce the character though, because at this point, I haven't really given you any idea who is speaking. So that might be something you want to add before, or it might be something you want to add after. So we'll go through and then maybe we'll come back and decide. When I walked closer, I heard something coming from inside. So I almost feel like we're jumping around. Suddenly, he's observing this and now he's walking closer. So again, when we're thinking of description, walked would be an action. So how did they walk? I walked slowly. But I walked slowly closer. Mm, that does make sense. When I, oop, when I slowly walked closer, I heard something come from inside. Well, what are you hearing? So I want you to think of the what. Again, we want to put this in our reader's mind. When I slowly walked closer, I heard a distant voice coming from inside. Distant voice coming from inside. Opening the suitcase. So again, suitcase is a thing. We might want to start adding more description to this. Opening the, and maybe you want to just set the mood, the mysterious suitcase. I saw a staircase, which is again a thing. Oops. Saw a staircase leading down into the ground. Ground, again, is a thing. So how can we add description to this? I saw a steep staircase leading down into the cool, dark ground. So we're taking this and starting to set the scene and set the mood. It's cool, it's dark, it's mysterious. So you're getting a sense and a feeling of this setting. Listening to the sound, I felt called to enter. So sound is kind of one of those more abstract nouns. So listening to the faint sound, I felt called to enter. You might also want to describe what you're entering, but I think at this point, your reader knows that you're entering the suitcase. Taking a step inside, so step being an action, we might choose to describe the step. Taking a tentative step inside, I wasn't prepared for what I saw when I got to the bottom. So maybe you want to add a little bit more description in that last sentence there. But at this point here, we've gone from a very generic paragraph to a paragraph that opens up a little bit more of that feeling, a little bit more of what you're seeing as well. So we've gone and described the setting, but we still don't know who this character is. That's not always bad that you've given a paragraph in between describing what's taking place and who's talking. So in my next paragraph, I might choose to start it off with something like, it's not going to let me, as, well, we'll imagine here, new paragraph, new paragraph. As a 10-year-old student at Stavely Elementary, I was used to problem solving, nothing like this. And you'll continue. So again, you might go and introduce your character in a secondary paragraph, or you might choose right at the beginning. You might say something along the lines of, as a 10-year-old student, I was not prepared for this old suitcase. So just keep that in mind while you're writing today. And before you finish up, try to go and share your writing with someone in your household and see if they can picture the same thing that you're picturing. So you might want to pause on this screen here too to just have a quick look at some of the things you should look at. One, who is the story being told from and what does it look like? So I've only told you it's a 10-year-old kid. What do they look like? It's a boy, it's a girl? I don't know. Where is the story taking place? So what does it look like? But also, how does it make your character feel? So you can also be describing action. So that was where I was highlighting stuff in yellow. And then people, places, and things, that was where I was highlighting stuff in green. So action being your verbs and people, places, and things being your nouns. So I'll let you guys get to writing. Don't forget that you're going to be writing in your document that you started last week that was posted on Google Classroom. So you should be able to go into Google Classroom, hit classwork, go down to April or March/April writing, and keep working from there. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and otherwise, happy writing.